What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. This is Gold Pony Crypto. And so sorry I've been away for a little while. I've just been crazy busy with everything else going on in my life, essentially. But there's been a ton of NFT news, specifically with CryptocomNFT. So I'm going to be sharing all of that with you guys. I'm going to be touching on loaded lines. There's 3 bullet points with them as well I wanted to cover for you, and a ton of Cronos related NFT news as well. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. But ultimately, this video, nothing should be considered financial advice. I just want to get right into it because this is some pretty freaking exciting stuff. So let's go ahead and start with the Crypto.com NFT news, starting with Visa is now dropping an NFT on Crypto.com NFT platform. And so I tweeted this out on Twitter. It got a ton of attention, so I figured I'd make a video on it along with a bunch of other stuff as well. But what I'm excited about is the fact that Crypto.com and Visa have this very close-knit relationship, not only with the Crypto.com cards, which are brilliant, by the way, referral code in the description below, but also now with NFTs as well. And this possibly means that there may be another NFT project coming in the future. I know this particular one is for charity, which is excellent, so I do like that. And it does come with some utility as well. I believe that they're going to be auctioning off 5 different types of NFTs, all of them coming with a signed jersey from a soccer player. At least that's what we call it here in the US. If you're outside the US, football player, whatever. So ultimately, yes, Visa is dropping an NFT on November 1st, so keep an eye out for that date. And that is pretty darn cool to me. But anyways, let's continue on with loaded lines because there's 3 different bullet points I wanted to touch on with them. First off, loaded lines hoodies are going to start to be sent out later this month. I wanted to remind everybody of that. That is pretty cool. Also, at the time of you watching this video, it's probably already been announced, but at the time of me making this video, it hasn't yet been announced, but there was a loaded lines takeover competition on Twitter. I posted a bunch of pictures of my line in the Appalachian Mountains, and that winner is going to be announced today, again, at the time of me making this video. So there's going to be 3 winners. They're giving away 3 loaded lines, aka approximately $1,500 to 3 different people if they were to sell right now in the middle of a bear market, or you could wait till it hit all-time highs again, which during the bull market, I think it got up to 7,000 or something like that for the floor price. So that is pretty cool. But the most exciting news regarding the loaded lines is the confirmation of the loaded lines metaverse. And so let me touch on that real quick. And so this essentially is not going to be a free airdrop to loaded line holders or anything like that, but rather the ability to get in the queue before everybody else and have the opportunity to purchase some land in the loaded lines metaverse. And so this was found out essentially, I listed to the Twitter spaces like a week and a half ago. I think it was on the 7th of October where Red Falcon kind of dropped the news, well, definitely dropped the news as to how this metaverse is somewhat going to work. Of course, there's still a ton of details that have still yet to be discovered, and I'm sure they'll be coming down the line. But for now, let me let you guys listen to that actual clip of the Twitter spaces that I just took a small little excerpt from, with Red Falcon going over maybe some of the details here to the loaded lines metaverse. Take a listen.
Land sale. So us lines have to buy the land for the metaverse. This is where they break the news and say yes. I don't have all the details for the land sale itself, but the short answer would probably be yes. I can't go over all the details about it, or the perks and the benefits that loaded line holders get for the land sale. That's not a point in which we've come to yet. But when we come close to the land sale, you guys will have all the insights and all the details about the land in itself.
And so that is pretty exciting, but I also now wanted to touch on some of the exciting, this is very big, Cronos NFT news as well. Let me actually start with the Dr. DAO AI Experiments collection, because this Dr. DAO NFT kind of group community I've been a part of for a little while now, and I've been getting a ton of royalties, more so than I ever expected, quite honestly. So let me go over their newest collection, the AI Experiments. Essentially, you mint them through your website. The way I do it is I pull up my Crypto.com DeFi wallet, I go into the browser section at the bottom middle, and then I go to the saved links, and I put their link in, which is DAOgames.online. And through that, you're able to actually mint and also check and claim your royalties as well. And part of the reason why I like this project, or what turned me on to it, is that Crosmodev, the developer for the Cosmonaut collection, has also been helping them along the way as well. And that is a dev within the Cronos community that I definitely trust. And by the way, the Cosmonaut collection has been out since 2021, so I believe it's 2021, so definitely quite a while. He is an OG in this space, so therefore I've gotten into a couple of different collections that he has helped with. But anyways, once you go to DAOgames.online, you have the ability to mint through one of the tabs at the very top. Mint prices are going to be 70 Crow for Dr. DAO holders, which is myself. DAO Pass holders are going to be 90 Crow, and CrowDo holders are going to be 95 Crow, and Public Mint is going to be 110 Crow, so relatively inexpensive active mint for Cronos, and the art is freaking insane. I absolutely love it. I'll put my favorite one that I minted up on the screen right now, but I'm definitely a big fan of that, and I've already started earning royalties from that NFT as well, which, by the way, another tab at the very top of that website is the royalties tab, and they have now given out over 22,000 Crow to date for royalties. And so I actually have a couple here to claim as well as I'm looking down on my phone. So actually I have approximately 20 Crow to claim right now. How cool is that? So an extra 20 Crow in my wallet just for holding some NFTs. That is pretty cool. And again, it's one of the most active Discords that I've come across, at least here in the bear market right now. There's not a whole lot of active Discords, but the Dr. DAO community, including AI experiments, is definitely one of the more active ones that I'm in right now. Just want to say that. Next thing I want to mention, since I mentioned CosmoDev, is there is a Crosmopilot collection coming very soon. And so if you're familiar with that whole group of NFT projects, there is a Crosmocraft NFT where you're able to kind of play an asteroid shooter-like game, which is insanely addicting, by the way. And they're going to be having tournaments down the line as well. But now there's going to be a Crosmopilot NFT collection coming around the corner. Not a whole lot of details to date, but there is a rough sketch of the 3D character, the 3D pilot that is going to be kind of the base character for their NFTs, and there's going to be a bunch of different traits, of course, as well. But the best part about the Crosmopilot collection is it's going to serve to add in-game utility or kind of boosts to the game itself, Crosmo Shooter. So if you haven't already, go ahead and pick up Crosmocraft on Abyssus Bay. Again, not financial advice. I have some, but I enjoy playing the game, and I'll of course make a more dedicated video to the Crosmopilot collection later down the line when more details have been released, you know, regarding date and price and all that fun stuff. But for anyways, keep an eye out for it. Join the Discord. That's what I do, and stay up to date that way. But anyways, last thing I wanted to mention when it comes to Cronos NFT news, and this is really one of the big ones as well, is the Crovillians. Part of the Cronos first, the Crovillians NFTs are now under the Mad Meerkat Under One Roof initiative. So what this means is that you can now stake your Crovillians within the Mad Meerkat system if you have a Mad Meerkat treehouse, and you can boost your MAD earnings because they are part of the Under One Roof initiative. So that is pretty cool. That's going to add to the value of the Crovillians, of course. And by the way, Crovillians mint is going to pause on the 27th of October here, and that is when you're going to be able to use them under that Under One Roof initiative there, and that is when the mint is going to stop. And shortly after that, they're also going to be available to buy and sell on Abyssus Bay then as well. So a bunch of updates there. And so I know this probably isn't going to be the longest video, but there was some very exciting updates I wanted to give to you guys. So a couple reminders. One thing I wanted to touch on is to try not to sell shame people. I've seen this in the Twitter and Discord community for certain projects where they kind of put people down for selling NFTs, and that's all part of the game, you guys. You got to understand, when you sell an NFT, a portion of those royalties go back to the project itself anyways, so it's really good for the remaining holders. And never judge anybody for selling an NFT, because for all you know, they might desperately need the money or something like that. So don't judge and don't sell shame, which is kind of the same thing in itself. So just wanted to point that out. This Twitter post I just found online, and it reminded me of it, and I was like, dang, this is so the truth. I would never sell shame anybody. So, and last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the screen here is I found this cool picture of the dollar versus a Monopoly dollar. And so I'm going to read this to you guys. I love this, but the only difference between these two notes is your belief that one has more value than the other. And so you got to keep in mind, the dollar was originally backed by gold and silver. They actually used to put silver certificate on the dollar, on the US dollar, but then 1971 came around, and that more or less went away to a pure fiat system backed by absolutely nothing but the faith in the government. And by the way, no fiat currency has ever survived throughout the course of history. So it's essentially just paper with an unlimited supply. There is no scarcity to it, which is one of the most important, if not the most important aspect to a sound money. So ultimately, that is where crypto and Bitcoin specifically comes in to solve these problems. They have scarcity. There is set supplies. It is set by code, which for the most part cannot be changed. So keep that in mind. That is why we are all into Bitcoin and crypto after all. But that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media for different cryptocurrency updates and news throughout the day. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button. If you're into Crypto.com, Crow, and Cronos, that is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know. I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.